Hello there, Force of Will players. My name is Charlie DeMel, and today what I kind of wanted to talk about is continuous effects and their application within like layers and how things kind of affect kind of the game and like game state and kind of just how they function in general. So with that being said, this right here is the CR section related to continuous effects. So this part of the CR 909 is all relating to how continuous effects apply, the order in which they apply in right here. This is considered layers, and so on and so forth. So within the continuous effect area, I'm not going to really talk about the layers and how they apply necessarily. If you want to, there are numerous questions on the L0 judge test that happened about a month and a half ago, and I made a video about that. That's on this channel. You can go ahead and take a look at that if you want to know kind of how stat layering and stuff like that works. What this one's going to be about, if any of you have kind of seen my tabs up here, primarily it's going to be the interaction between Dante and cards like Heart to Heart Talk, which gain abilities. So Dante's effect, if you're unaware, the ruler Dante, one of the new ones, his God's Art is this card gains cards in all removed areas and all graveyards lose all abilities. So that is a continuous effect, and continuous effects, they apply like outside of rules process, basically. So when you have a priority sequence occurring, right, players can't put automatic abilities onto the chase, can't play cards, etc., without there actually being a priority sequence. Continuous effects will apply even in the middle of a priority sequence, in the middle of something resolving, anything like that. Continuous effects will apply because they're continuous. The main one that functions for something like Heart to Heart Talk is that in 909.5, when a card is moved to a zone and any continuous effect is applied to the card in the new zone, it comes into the zone with the effect applied. So with a card like Heart to Heart Talk, it has draw a card, then remove this card from the game. This card gains the each turn, so on and so forth effect. So what happens is with Heart to Heart Talk resolving, you will draw a card and then you remove it from the game. So you've removed it from the game, at which point Dante's effect will begin applying. And this is before the rest of the text has resolved. It doesn't all resolve and then Dante's effect applies. It applies as soon as Heart to Heart Talk moves to the RFG area, which in this case is as part of the resolution of the card. So then this card gains each turn, so on and so forth. For Dante's effect, he causes everything to lose abilities, but he doesn't have the text cards cannot gain, which means they can't gain abilities on top of the effect that they have already lost them. So in this layer, at 909.1d, apply all continuous effects that add or remove any ability. For forcible continuous effects, they effectively snapshot when they start affecting something. So, and then they don't re-update. So for example, something like Dante, it'll see the Heart to Heart Talk, instantly apply, and then it will be like, okay, I've applied to the card. At which point it's lost all effects. It has no effects in the RFG zone. Once it started applying, then the rest of Heart to Heart Talk will begin to resolve, and this card will then gain the text. Each turn you may pay one less, etc., etc. So that's one way of kind of how it gets around Dante. Now, some people have kind of talked about like dependency and stuff like that, and how you can't begin to apply effects. Like you can't apply effects A, like Dante's effect, before Maria Bella resolves because the card isn't there and it requires it to be in the RFG. That's not what dependency is talking about here. What dependency mainly means is if a continuous effect that's applied on the same layer, they have to be applied on the same layer, would be affected differently or affect the entity differently if it required the other one there. One of the more generic things that could occur would be something like target entity gains erase, so like gains Fairy Tale, And then if you had another effect that said all your fairy tales become another race, so like fairies or giants or whatever, then that would be a dependency, because the entity beforehand was not a fairy tale, and then you made it a fairy tale, and then all fairy tales now become giants, right? So that is a dependency form of a continuous effect. Because they apply on the same layer, you can't apply the one of them without applying the other one first. So that would be a case of dependency. The fact of it just needing to be in an RFG zone or in the graveyard is not a case of dependency with Dante, or with continuous effects like his. Okay? So I just wanted to get that out there real quick. Just thought I'd talk about that. The Dante interaction has been a little bit weird with some people. Some people have been not the people. It's not like the people's fault. It's just it's kind of a strange one in like how it works with the like it gains text as opposed, and then how things snapshot on certain layers. So just wanted to talk about that. Look forward to seeing anyone at the GP coming out, or not see anyone. Look forward to everyone who comes out to the online GP this weekend, which will be October 23rd, I believe. Yep, October 23rd. Hope you all have a great event. I'll be the head judge for that, and I can't wait to see you there. Until then, have a good one.